tell me what was the most embarrassing thing that happened to you at an amusement park. I'll go first. Sorry if I kind of look like a troll. I don't have any makeup on, but I'm about to go into the gym and I don't care. Anyways, a couple of years ago, me, my husband, and my 9-year-old daughter, we were rope dropping Hagrid's over at Universal Studios, which, if you don't know, at that time, you were waiting at least an hour and a half, and that was if you went right to the ride. Okay. Now, that morning, I was ignoring my stomach. I have stomach issues. We got in line, we're about halfway through, and my stomach started gurgling. I thought, oh my God, please, Lord, just wait until I'm off the ride. Not much longer. Just please. I was really praying hard with every belly gurgle and everything. So, the three of us were in the part of the line where we were inside. So, of course, it was very difficult to leave the line unless you wanted to say, excuse me, a million times. Or if you were brave enough, you could bend over and, scoot underneath the metal railings, depending on why you needed to leave. At the point where I could see the train for the ride. It's a roller coaster if you don't know. And if you don't know, why don't you? And it was at that point where the Lord says, you know what? Screw you. Okay, my stomach gurgled. I'm like, please, just 20 more minutes. And then if I have to go, you can give me that urge after I get off the ride. Oh, no. He was not allowing it. So that's when my stomach started to gurgle really bad. 10 more minutes we could have been on the ride. I was so mad. And I'm like, husband, I have to get out of line. I have to go to the bathroom. He's like, well, we're going to stay in line. I'm like, I don't blame you. I'm not expecting you to leave the line. I'm not selfish like that. And I bent down to go underneath the metal railing, and that was a big mistake. It was a war zone. Luckily, nobody saw it. What made it worse is that I was also wearing these tummy control garments, so it would tighten me up a little bit more so I could fit on the rides better. I don't know if it really worked. However, that's what I was wearing, and I think that's really what gave it the final push whenever I bent down to go underneath the railings. It was not a pretty sight. Now, the bathroom wasn't far. It was just right outside the line where you get on to the ride. But man, do you know how hard it is to clean yourself up in a crowded restroom like that when all you have is the toilet and toilet paper? If you go out to the sink, people are going to be seeing stuff, and no one wants to deal with that. No one wants to see it. I didn't even bother keeping my underwear. I just threw it away. What was I going to do? I didn't have a bag with me. What was I going to do? Go into the gift shop and go, hi, can I get a plastic bag? Or are you buying something? No. What was I supposed to do? So I cleaned up as best as I can. My stomach was still a little gurgly. I threw away my underwear. I wasn't dealing with that. And I'm like, man, they don't pay these people enough to clean this bathroom. I cleaned up as best as I could. I don't like leaving a mess in a public bathroom, no matter what happened. So I walk out of the bathroom. By then, my daughter and my husband had finished riding the ride, and they had a frozen butterbeer for me, which, that always hits the spot no matter what. If you've never had one at Universal, the frozen butterbeer, get it. You won't regret it. That is not what caused my stomach issues, so no worries. So I sit down and I'm drinking my butterbeer, and my daughter right next to me, she's like, meanwhile, she knows why I left the bathroom, why I left the line to go to the bathroom. She looks at me and she smells it. She's like, oh, what's that smell? And I'm like, shut up. But she said it again. I'm like, I'm going back to the hotel. So that was probably the longest and stinkiest walk I've had from where the Wizarding World is in Universal, all the way in the back, all the way up to the front. Yes, I had to stop at the bathroom a few times on the way up. I know where a lot of the bathrooms are in Universal right now. And I went to go on the boats to take me back to the hotel, but I'm like, you know what? What if I have an accident on the boat? Then that's more problems for the employees. That's a boat that's out of commission while they clean it. And I'm not doing that to the people sitting beside me. That's not cool. So I took an extra 5 or 10 minutes to walk back to the hotel room. God, by the time I got back, I was never so happy to go into the gift shop and pay for overpriced Imodium. My God. Yeah, so ever since then, I make sure I take Imodium. I had Pepto with me. That didn't work. I took that while I was in line. That did not help. Imodium. But yes, that is my embarrassing amusement park story. I may have one later on this week because I'm going back. So, but yeah, drop a comment. Let me know what yours is. I want to hear about it, and subscribe. I'm Goddess of Chaos. Thank you so much for stopping by. Go out into the world and cause a little bit of chaos. I'll see you later. Bye.